Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Age of Empires, not Age of Empires, Earth 3 replay. Spawn on bottom left side as the Red Empires. We have Troy 78. Spawn on top right side as the Blue Allies. We have Aztec. Improperly spelled. Aztec is spelled with a E, right? The Mesoamerican tribe, to say the least. If it's unclear. Though that should be pretty famous Mesoamerican tribe. Or empire. Really, it's actually more of an empire. Death cult as well. Apparently, at the opening of their Grand Pyramid in Tenochtitlan, there was apparently around 30,000 to 100,000 sacrifices on that day. And then they took all the blood from those sacrifices and anointed the entire city. Can you imagine the smell of that? Them just throwing blood everywhere across the city as a sign of worship. By the way, we do have the burst drone being gunned down by those early javelin troops. He did go for some early javelin troops, probably eyeing for some instant dojos, but we do only see the one instant dojo. We do got a third refinery there, so it looks like the Empire's playing for a triple refinery opener. Going for a whole bunch of walls there, which is going to be necessary since he went for a very, very slow start. But this may be able to pay dividends. Looks like this garrison's now garrisoned by a single Imperial Warrior. Now it's garrisoned by a single Peacekeeper. And you probably could take time to destroy out the oil derrick. Probably a good idea. No, that is an engineer. He's going to try to capture the oil derrick. Another layer of walls there. Nope. And there's the engineer. If the Empire player can quickly recapture it, his opponent will only have a loss, though then again, he will also have a bit of a loss. Putting some Peacekeepers everywhere, very nice. He needs to get a lot more Imperial Warriors. We do now have a Mecha Bay Corps, which would be very useful in pulling out some Mecha Tengus. Mecha Bay being employed on out. And now I got the Imperial Warriors. What's it going to take time to destroy the oil derrick? If he did it quick enough, he will cause economic damage to his opponent. But it's getting, and does manage to clean it up there, but he will lose all those Imperial Warriors. So probably he lost just, 5 Imperial Warriors. As I left, what, 100 or 150 each? Yeah, he definitely lost more in that engagement. I didn't, of course, deny all the future income. That's going to garrison up those other garrisons. Blue's doing a good job garrisoning up everything else, but right now, since Blue has expanded out, the economic advantage of the Empire player has greatly diminished, and now do got these jet tangus advancing him forward. He needs to start pushing out the map. He is going to have a lot of barriers on the ground, so going for more of an air focus would be a good idea. This is one, it's Empire. 2, it'll help him bypass all of these garrisons. And does find himself an Apollo there. Does get a good first strike there on the Apollos. He could potentially transform and engage the Apollo on the ground. And now these jet tangus are falling on back. Got more jet tangus being reinforced now. He's going to have 6 versus 2 Apollos. And now starting engaging the Apollo as well. That one does not get gunned down. He's going to try to pursue these ones all the way back on home when the jet tangus do go down. It's not looking good for the Empire player, that's for sure. He's just sort of now just stuck in his base. Does the garrison this garrison to help clean out this garrison. A number of Mecha Tengus out on the field now. He could try to go for a quick snipe on that Vindicator. Does get a quick snipe on that Vindicator there. Apollo's now under gauge. Does lose one of his 2 of his jet tangus. One of the Apollos do go down as well. So overall, great engagement there for the Empire player. Do now have some Yari mini subs been pulling out field. Going for a handful of them wouldn't hurt. Looks like he has 3 at the moment. And he knows this one has expansion over here, and he's gone for double airfield. This could leave him very exposed to these Yari mini subs. Not to mention, the final voyages could get some great splash damage in this region. He may need to pull out, with this much infrastructure here, he may need to pull out a prison tower to engage the Yari mini subs. Looks like he's not pulling out any more Yari mini subs. The allied player has expanded up here, so the Empire player now has, well, had less economy, not having an oil derrick, but now he has even less economy compared to his opponent. 5 Apollos advancing forward. That should give his opponent him realize, like, oh, 5, that's more than 4. Which means 2 airfields. Do have, looks like 4 Yari mini subs pushing forward. Group of 3 advancing. Their last buddies lagging behind. Can you hit Vindicator on the deck with torpedoes? That Yari mini sub has now received quite a bit of fire there. May just want to eye a final voyage with it. How effective is a final voyage versus docked Vindicators? I'm not really sure. We may find out. Yari mini subs sort of rotating around. We do now have this multi-gun turret deployed on the field as well. Yeah, he may actually need a... Oh, there's 3 airfields here. With this much infrastructure, I am not joking. A prison tower wouldn't be half bad. Peacekeepers are being cleaned on up. We got multiple Mechatangus now advancing forward. Trying to slowly to go clean up all these garrisons. We got so many Vindicators here. Striker VX is going to be a great item for Soldat. Does lose one of his Mechatangus. I think he lost one of his Vindicators or Apollos. It goes on by, gets low power. He may have actually deployed too much there, going to low power himself. Taking out all the power plants that to save us all these multi-gunner turrets. This could have been self-inflicted low power. Plus, the multi-gunner turrets can't fire into underwater, so I think the army says push forward right there. He does deploy out multi-gunner turret there, so he must have deployed that out, low power, and then he quickly sniped all the power plants.
No way!
Mechatangus are now engaging. I think the Apollo's going to get some great work done. Chopper VX draws some fire there, does get transformed there as well. Gets another Apollo as well. A lot of those Apollos have gone down. Very many subs could find some good work on there. Going for the Prospector, very nice. And those one run subs take out 1 Yari mini sub there. The 2 Yari mini subs are very, very wounded. And does go and dive away. Does lose 1 of the Yari mini subs there. No final voyage. Oh wait, holy crap. That Vindicator almost went down on the deck with that. I'm not sure where the Yari mini subs maybe went. I think there's still at least 1 live. Yes, it's right there. Going for the power plants here, going for the grounded Vindicators. Does transform the grounded Vindicators. Going for the next power plant there, trying to stop any multi-gunner turret place in there. Do now have a cryo shot from the field. May get the does get the wounded Yari mini sub guys. Those freeze down on Mechatangu. Do now have another power plant being pulled on out. And getting some good hits there on these power plants. Multi-gunner turret does finish off those frozen units. There's still triple airfield here. Some Naginata cruisers wouldn't be entirely crazy, honestly. Or just more Yari mini subs. Thinking out, this area is ripe to be hit by a bunch of Yari mini subs. Now we've got a fully heroic Yari mini sub here. He definitely can't support all these airfields anymore. Could sell them off. Could try migrating to the high ground. After all, it's going to be a super show. I was going to say the tsunami rises to hit these structures, but that's actually a line for the tsunami tanks. He's low power once again. Deploys out another power plant. He's losing a lot of infrastructure here. Right now, since the allied player deployed out so much infrastructure here, he's getting hit by these cheap Yari mini subs, and these Yari mini subs are hitting well above their weight. And I'll mention most of those Apollos are down. There's some Apollos there. And he did do a transform as well. I do also no Defender Core. I thought I saw Defender Core. coming for a bomb run. Does get one of the Vindicators there. Multiple of those Striker VXs do go down. He may need to pull out some more. He does go for a Defense Bureau. He may be going for some Prism Cannons or Prism Towers. More power plants. Deployed out something that other queue as well. Maybe some more multi-gunner turrets somewhere. There's multi-gun turrets a little bit of everywhere. Let's get a cryo blast there. Freezes down the ore collector and the ore refinery, but nothing in the region to help finish it off. So this stuff should be able to recover. Do now these Apollos or Vindicators advancing forward. The ore refinery has unfrozen, which is much more important. Ore collector may be unfrozen soon. He should have not sold off that ore refinery there. He may not realize they actually thawed out. And we do got a proton collider being pulled out of the field. Another airfield? Puts himself on low power there. Sells up the airfield there because he saw those Yari mini subs there. Now this airfield's under fire. Vindicator's coming for a bomb run. Takes out... Nope, doesn't take out anything. Takes out the airfield there. Do we see a prism tower on the build queue? And now we've got these jet Tengus or mecha Tengus just going behind the ground route. But of course, he does have some multi-gun turrets on the ground. Downstream does find some damage there. And these mecha Tengus, they're just not going to get much work done, honestly. What defense drones do save these mecha Tengus. And we've now got the Chopper VXs getting, or Striker VXs getting some great damage there. He will take out the airfield. He perhaps should have focused on the multi-gun turret there. The multi-gun turret is still continuing more damage there. But now the Yari mini-subs does use a final voyage there. Does not take out the MCV. The MCV is oh so wounded. There's the final voyage. Maybe? Takes out the MCV there. Yeah, there is a Spectrum Tower there. Spectrum Towers can engage underwater units. Got a heroic Yari mini-sub there. 2 wounded ones. He could take out some of these power plants there. If he knocks out the power plants, his one will be on low power. He is actually out of... He doesn't have a war factory or naval yard, so he has no way to produce stuff. Now he's low in power. He has... The Empire players needs to keep on hitting these power plants. If he takes out more of these power plants, the Proton Collider cannot fire. He needs to focus on defense. He doesn't have... He may have less economy than his opponent, but... His opponent can only build air units. Prospector being pulled on the field. He needs to pull that out in the middle of all these airfields to get out some cryocopters, get some heightened clearance. But even putting his opponent on the low power not only will deny the Proton Collider, which still has 4 minutes remaining, it will of course reduce the production speed of all these structures, though he has a lot of structures out for production, so that may not be an issue. Armors to come out, does take out the wounded Yari mini-subs. The heroic one's still alive. Still a couple multi-gunner turrets here. But he can take his time. He has rebuilt the refinery down here. The Imperial Dock's still up and going. And now it's going to come forward, trying to hit this power plant there, trying to avoid the cryocopters. Cryocopters are going to be a bit of a problem there. And Final Forge does put in the low power there. Still low in power, he has to sell off another multi-gun turret or an airfield. Not sure how many aircraft he has in the air. Vindicator does manage to escape on out of there. And now the multi-gun turrets are down, or gone. Does sell off an airfield as well. He needs more Yari mini-subs. This Proton Collider does pose a massive problem. We all know a super weapon does pose a massive problem. There's a lot of cryocopters in the field as well, so he's going to need more Chopper VXs because the shrink's down, and now he can easily freeze the rest of these forces. These Mechatanks may need to sacrifice themselves, and they've got mass transform there, trying to focus on the cryocopters. Going to quickly annihilate most of those cryocopters there. Now engaging the Apollos. Apollos are sustaining lots of losses as well. There's still a couple frozen Striker VXs that are all shrunken down. And now all the Apollos are gone down, does re-shrink, and now it does take out the rest of these cryocopters there with, well, actually the Chopper VXs. Blue's Air Force has pretty much been gutted. Massive wave of Vindicators advancing on forward. It still has some oh no. We know that's a bad time to transform. Take out the Striker VXs. These jet tankers need to transform as long as can. Striker VX still firing some missiles up here. Chopper Cryocopter does manage to escape on out there. Yari mini subs are now redeployed. He still has 2 minutes remaining, and there's some very exposed power plants here. I honestly don't know how much power it takes to power up a proton collider. Currently have 375 out of 400. Each power plant provides 200. Now, if I'm going to hazard a guess of how much each of these cost, plus 25, 25, 25, 25, 200? Oh, that does not add up. Proton collider maybe consume like one. I can't think of a good combination would be the power consumption. So as we start, if you see this power plant goes on down, final voyages, go for final voyages, just take out those power plants. Oh, there's a power plant up here as well. Okay.
Let's run some field tests.
Power plant on the high ground as well, so we can't take out all power plants. But taking out 2 will probably disable the proton collider. He has 2 Yari mini subs remaining. Proton collider at the current rate will fire. He needs to make sure these Striker VXs do not get hit. Proton collider is also relatively slow to fire, so when the first round fires, he could potentially run away in time. AVR is actually destroyed. Okay, there's no more Yari mini subs. Takes out a power plant there. Did not throw. He did throw in the low power. He's going to need to sell off airfields. You know, I actually don't really know the exact power production as well for everything. Do command hubs provide a small amount of power? Taking that out did reduce his power output by 150. So command hubs must provide a small amount of power. They must provide 50. Interesting. I did not know that. Because 150, 150, 150, that will go up to 350, and there's just 50 extra probably from this command hub. Chopper VX advance on 4, jet Tengus as well. Oh, there's a proton collider, and he dodged it. That is acceptable losses to a proton collider. That is very, very important indeed. Then again, I think that maybe there's a multi-gun turret over on the far side that could have been still alive as well in power consumption. But still, we do got a massive wave of Vindicators. Of 5 Vindicators is enough to one-shot a collector and ore refinery. So Red's still not out of the game yet. He does have, of course, that timer reset. Shotguns getting some good hits there on the point defense drones. And these ore refineries are... they're not depleted. They have less than 4,000 left. Getting some good damage there, trying to clean up these garrisons. There is a jet tango, or not jet tango, a javelin troop getting some good damage there. Mass transform there. He has still a large number of cryocopters there. Go for Emperor's Rage again. Does mass freeze that Striker VX. Emperor's Rage transforms, trying to engage. Does have the Striker VX as well. And I was just trying to run away from these forces. Striker VXs are pushing way forward as well. Since they move faster since they're shrunken, it's actually very important for him to catch those force, and does force back his opponent right there. But of course, that he can just wait to expire. Yari mini subs still in this region. And going for a power plant's not going to be important, other than trying to deal with the proton collider. Mass transform right there. Mass transform there, trying to go with the cryocopters. Vindicators all being gunned down. Apollo's getting great engagement there. Jet Tangos are not properly engaging. Large amount of shrunken missiles hitting these Apollos, getting gunned down by the Striker VXs, and Blue does back of the game. Could not deal with the Striker VXs on the ground, shooting down all of his Apollos. This is Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.